Hello and welcome to the first episode of this brand new series. I'm Priya, and you must have seen me quite a few times on this channel now. Today, I'll be speaking about my experiences pursuing the diploma in IFRS course because many of you from the audience have been asking me questions about it. So, here's all that I know and all that I can advise you about DIP IFRS. So first of all, what is the DIP IFRS course? The DIP IFRS course is a single paper exam that's offered by the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, United Kingdom. That's the ACCA United Kingdom. An important clarification over here is that this is not the same as the ACCA exams. The ACCA exams are a 14 paper uh, series. It's a 14 paper course, which is very different from the DIP IFRS exam. So, what is the DIP IFRS exam? As I said, it's a single paper exam, and it tests you on international financial reporting standards. Uh, that's commonly used in a large number of countries, and many countries like India have adopted and IFRS in the form of Indias or converged rather IFRS in the form of Indias. So the DIP IFRS paper tests you purely on IFRS. Coming to the paper pattern, it's a single paper exam as I said, and it's divided into four questions of 25 marks each. So the first question is always going to be a consolidation question that's going to ask you to either prepare a consolidated statement of profit and loss or a consolidated balance sheet. It could be either of these. The second question is usually asking you to, the second, third, and fourth rather are questions asking you to explain how the accounting treatment in a certain situation can be. And the second, third, and fourth questions are of 25 marks each, but they can further be divided into sub questions, say for 12 and 13 marks, or any other such suitable combination. The last question usually is asks you for an opinion, but it's in the form of a case study where there'll be probably an accountant and the CFO of a company, and the CFO would have certain doubts regarding certain treatments, and the accountant has to clarify it. So while the concept remains same, it's just a slightly different structure. Now coming to how are these exams held? These exams are currently held only online. Uh, before I move on, an important clarification continuing to what I previously said is this is not an MCQ based paper. You have to actually solve and write or rather type out your answers. So this is an online exam and the consolidation question, that's the first question, is to be answered in a software very similar to Excel, while the balance three questions, which are theoretical, are to be answered in a uh, word pad that's similar to MS Word. Now, coming to when are the exams held? The exams are held currently twice a year in June and in December, usually on the first Friday of June and December, respectively. Now we move on to who should pursue this exam. So or this diploma. So ideally anybody who is interested in pursuing a career in controllership, that's accounting in an organization, not like passing entries, but overall looking after the maintenance and publishing of financial statements and things like determining accounting policies, consolidating group entities, etc. That's what a controller's function does in an organization of MNCs, of course, because or even of Indian companies, because IFRS and Indians are 90% similar. Such a person should definitely pursue this course. It will be an added advantage to them, or anybody who's interested in making a career in financial accounting advisory services or accounting advisory as we call it. all the big four firms or even the big six CA firms have a specific department known as the FAAS, where they provide consultation services for implementing or for accounting specific situations. So even there, if you want to get into that, this diploma is definitely going to be an added advantage to you. Now coming to when should one pursue this exam. So I'll start with when I pursued it. I pursued it immediately after my CA final, after I was even done with articleship and college. I pursued this exam. I wrote this exam 6 days after my CA final exams because the syllabus of uh, financial reporting in the new course of CA final covers India's completely. And along with that, if you do just the carve-ins and carve-outs, India's versus IFRS, you are good to go with the theoretical base that diploma in IFRS needs. So one should ideally attempt this paper if they want to immediately after their CA final exams. Now coming to what should be the study strategy for this exam. If you are a CA final new student, you can say that 90% of your work is done here because you have studied India's in great depth. If you have taken Global Financial Reporting Standards, paper 6E as your elective, you are again at an advantage because you'll be studying differences between India's and IFRS over there. So, if you are a CA finance student or a chartered accountant from the new course, you don't have to study anything extra except the differences between India's and IFRS and also certain standards which are not covered in CA final. For example, um, IFRS 106, sorry, IFRS 6 on mining rights is it's not covered in CFIL. It's something new that is in diploma in IFRS. Similarly, IFRS for small and medium enterprises, IFRS for SMEs, there's no corresponding guidance or matter in India. So these are some small topics which you may have to traditionally cover and for which a lot of guidance is already available on YouTube. So this along with practicing the past papers very well are the only additional strategies that you require. Practicing the past papers is going to, first of all, give you an understanding of how answers are expected by the ACCA, which is very important because they have step-by-step marking, and it will also help you revise your concepts. Because if you are in India's mindset, switching to IFRS does take a little time. So, the more you practice, the more good you get at answering those questions. Now, coming to the paper strategy. How do you attempt the papers? So as I previously said, there are 4 questions, 25 marks each. I will always recommend you to keep the consolidation question for the end because consolidation questions, as we all know, they are heavily interlinked, and even if you make a slight error at any step, the whole of your answer is going to go wrong. And you don't want to spend sizable amount of time just for those 25 marks. Then you can put in similar efforts and get grab the 75 balance 75 marks of the paper. So ideally, finish your theoretical questions first. Finish the 3 theoretical questions first. Complete 75 marks, and the remainder time, that it will be probably around an hour or so. Give it to consolidation. This is a strategy that you should implement while attempting the DIPA FRS paper. The exam is for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So accordingly, even if you get like 1 hour 15 minutes to complete your consolidation, you are good to go. And even if your sums don't tally, your balance sheet doesn't tally, you still stand a chance of getting good marks because of the step-by-step marking scheme. Coming to the cost of this exam, so the cost of this exam, as it's conducted by a body in the United Kingdom, they can cost about 21,000 INR. This is based on the figures in 2020-21, but of course they change regularly, and Also, the exchange rate plays an important role here, so please go to the ACCA website and check out the latest fees before registering. Again, I think I've covered all the points here, all the frequently asked questions in detail. One last point that I would like to add over here is that practice solving the exam paper or the mock test paper on the software that it's conducted on, and you can easily access this by typing Diploma in IFRS mock test in Google. You get uh, the the software that they test you on along with a mock question, and practice that regularly, preferably maybe 5 days before exam, because the software looks very similar to Excel, but it does not have all the functions that Excel usually has. So Control D to copy into the next cell will not work. Starting your formula with at the rate or a plus sign won't work. So because we are habituated to Excel, you may end up losing a lot of time trying to unfruitfully apply these formulae. So make sure that you practice, because it's going to be a long paper and you don't want to end up missing something that you know and losing marks. Another question is, what is the passing criteria, passing percentage? The passing percentage is 50%, and above 50, if you get above 50% marks, you are declared as pass. You don't get any physical certificate home. You just have to go to the ACC and log in and download your certificate. You get a diploma certificate and you can laminate it for your future reference. I think I've recently covered all the questions related to the IFRS. If you have any more questions, please drop me a message on my LinkedIn ID, which is in the description box below. And if you like this video, share it with everybody who you think will benefit. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and stay tuned. Thank you.